Hello everybody, Frankie Day here for Frankie Day Models. Okay fellas, this video comes on to unprecedented, a fun build I did about 4 days here. About 4 days ago I went to see Smitty's hobby shop, see Russ, he was got shaken down there at the hobby shop. And he's got a whole new line, a bunch of kits came in. And there's, hey Frank, you like these old school kits? Oh wow, where are they at? Right over the corner. So I went over there and ventured around and looked around. There it was. There's a company out there called Atlantis. I think it's a new company. What they're doing, they're digging up the old molds that Revell and probably other manufacturers has made in the past, but they don't make no more. So they keep the line going forever for people who like to build something that's vintage and old. So they're kind of picking up on the old kits that the molds are still there, but they're kind of fixing them up a little bit here and there, make them reusable again for the 100,000th time around for us model builders to build and admire. Okay, this ship here is no stranger to me. Right behind me, I'll zoom in a little bit, this is the reboxing of the Revell 1958 Classic, the USS Forrest Sherman. Forrest Sherman is pretty close to an Adams class destroyer. They're a lot more bigger than the Fletchers and a lot more bigger than the Sumner class and the Goering class. They were the last of the Cold War, what you would say, destroyers that came out at the time when the Cold War was really getting hot and heavy. This Forrest Sherman is probably 1 out of 5 ships of her class. Her twin sister ship, the USS Turner Joy, was attacked off Vietnam, probably in 1964, I believe. It was got us into the war, and there's a lot of damage done to her. So they had her down there in Subic Bay for a while, and they had her. After that, they took her down to Todd Shipyard and do the rest of the work on her, get her squared away so she can go back to sea. This kit here is old. It's been around for a long time, and this is probably about the second time I've built this ship in my whole life. I know I bought one of these things, the same kit, but it had the Revell logo on there, and I can remember last I had it, it was a very good model, went together quite well. This one went together even better. What I'm going to do here, fellas, and I'll bring the finished product over here. We can take a look at the USS Forrest Sherman. We'll get the box out of the way and show you what Frankie Day's got going on here. I'm going to take an inventory, take a stock what I've got to build, get the finish up on, and catch up on. And this is one of them. But this actually was a fun build. I pulled this one out of the closet because I figured, heck, I just bought this at the hobby shop. I figured it'd be a nice model to build again, something to do, bring me back to my younger years. And here she is right here. It's a pretty good weathering on this thing. I got a pretty photostatic memory when it comes to weathering on ships, especially these type of like destroyers in the Navy when I was in. I try to recapture everything I can remember when I was in the Navy. Keep this ship, to keep the weathering subtle, but keep the kit still pristine. Railings are a lot to desire, old school. This is called SOB build, straight out of the box. There are photo etch fittings out there for this here ship that are available. You just gotta do is just get it online and look around and shop around, and you'll find them. I'm quite sure that golden models from Lauren Perry has got a lot of those. Let me get the ship in there. There we go. I'm trying to get inside this frame here, fellas. You look carefully at the hull, you can see I have the rust on it. And I gave the hull several coats of shades of gray and a little bit of weathering on it. I was going to go ahead and use a sprue for the rigging, but I decided not to. I had some fine fuse wire laying around. I'd use that instead. So it seemed like we were doing the job. A little thick, but it does the job. And came out pretty good, this ship did. On the starboard side. Later on in the late 1960s, the Forrest Sherman, excuse me fellas, I mean to move the camera here. The Forrest Sherman went through several different modifications. They went ahead and tried to do the Farragut class on it by putting those missiles on it, Regulus missiles on them. Tried to make a DLG out of it, but they had other. The Navy had other designs on the drawing board that need to be built, and these are actually make very good test beds for future destroyers. So this is, in a way, it's an old school destroyer. Ain't nothing compared to the Gearing class like the one I was on. But these right here are pretty good destroyers. They're a lot more bigger than the Gearing class. Okay, what I'm going to do now, guys, Frickaday's got something else on the agenda here, guys. I think you all remember this one. I'm going to start to finish this one up. I'm going to work on this tonight. This is USS Shangri-La. This is an old wind wall kit. We'll back out so you can see, guys. Scale 1/500. I've got my air wing on it. What the kit gives you is a bunch of F9F Cougars, an A3D Sky Warriors, and a Sikorsky H-19 Chickasaw chopper they give you. That's about all they give you. They give you probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 aircraft they give you on this. And plus they give you some missiles too. I started to paint the island right here. The island comes off so I can handle it and paint it and detail it out and everything. The decks, I've been aboard a lot of carrier decks when I was in the Navy. Everybody thinks they're all nice and tarmac, blue-gray color. They are, but you look very carefully, that paint wears off very, very fast, that stain they use on the decks. And pretty soon you actually can see the teak wood planks show through. This right here, the USS Shangri-La, was one of the Essex class carriers that were converted into the angle type deck. Now, if you look at this very carefully, you can see how the evolution comes into play on this type of carrier. Simulating this steel rule as a margin shows you how the deck used to be and how it is now. Right there, that's how an Essex class carrier used to look like. You know, the 1950s came and jet aircraft came. They tried to find a better way of launching them. It came out with an angle deck. So they did. They came out with this type of class, the angle deck. I think they got this design from the USS Forrestal back in 1954. Now, and Forrestal was the first supercarrier that came with the United States Navy. Of course, it always dubbed the force fire after having a couple of missiles went off and took off some A-4Ds and some Skyhawks too. A big mess. We just had to replenish her when that hell happened back in '67. That was something else. So I'm gonna get hot on this. This is all ready to be painted. All ready. I've already doodled around with the island on here. Got that painted with haze gray. I always mix my own special haze gray. I got it up here somewhere, right over here. So I got my special haze gray that I make. And I always shake it up and I run some airbrush. And so this is going to be nice when I get done with this. And this is going to be after the Korean War. During the Korean War, the decks were an angle. They were more or less conventional. And they had ADs on there and a lot of other ones. So this one here is probably back in 1950, 54, 55. Right after the Korean War, she went to another refit. See, all these ships always go with the refits all the time. They make an angle deck to go this way, and they do something else, and they go here, go there, and they say, well, hell with this thing. This thing is an old ship. It's done its time. Let's build something new and go onward. And that's what they do. That's called progress. Okay, so that's the shaking on the building board, guys. I got to get the Hellcat video out got to you. I haven't done that. Well, I did. When I made the video on my FH Demon. Demon's almost done. All I got to do is get the canopy done and she's finished. So stay tuned for that. I'll have the F3H Demon for you tomorrow. And hopefully one day this week, sometime I'll have some more a video on the USS Shangri-La by Wen Wall, which is now Revell. They did the same thing Atlantis is doing. They're buying all these old bold things around, and which is a very good thing. A very good thing. It brings back the past. And to me, guys like me around my age, or people perhaps a little younger, who built these many, many years ago, would understand the nostalgia purpose of building these things. So I'm quite happy that I got the poor Sherman all done. She's all done. And the scale of this thing is 1/320 on the Ford Sherman. So it's a little more bigger than 1/350. On the Shangri-La scale, 1/500 scale. When Wall started making those ships back in the 1960s, the whole entire fleet was a constant 1/500 scale. And back in those days, 60s and 50s, all scales weren't really that constant. And if they had a good variety of scales, all that kind of a scale, it made it a must for collectors and builders to build all the time. But most of those kits that Wen Wall brought out, Rubel and the rest of them are all known as box scales. And they various scales, some are bigger 1/72 scale, and some are smaller. But anyway, these things are a good size. This bird farm here is about 22 inches long. And my USS Ford Sherman, she's about a good 18, 19 inches long. So they're pretty good sized miniature models for that type of era, and for that class itself in the classic range. Okay, guys, that's all I'm going to show you for tonight. Frankie Day's been really burning the midnight oil, so I'll keep myself pretty well busy all the time. And so I'm going to be working on this, and I got something else I got me finished on. So I got that F3H Demon coming for you tomorrow, so stay tuned for that, fellas. I got that posted for you tomorrow. And I got some pictures of the USS Ford Sherman posted on the Airfix modeling page on Facebook. So I'm sure to venture there and take a look at those if you wish. And like I say, guys, I'm bringing out builds left and right now. I'm finishing up all these things I got started, with the exception of the 10 can I just done. I just happened to build that just for fun build, see how it goes, and I've really enjoyed it very, very much. And not much to build these things. They go together quite quickly. And it depends on how you attack the model. You want to put more detail in it by adding PE. Knock yourself out. It's out there. It's got to hunt around for it. Okay, this is Frankie Day signing up for Frankie Day Models. You guessed it. You got it. Give that man a Cupid doll right there. Make mama happy. Take care of your babies. Stay focused when you drive. Stay focused when you walk. Watch yourselves. Spend wisely, guys. Take care of yourselves. And God love you all. And this is Frankie Day signing up for Frankie Day Models. We'll catch you on the final reveal tomorrow on FH Demon. And we'll try to get that Hellcat video out for you, too. This is Frankie Day signing off, boys. You guys take the rest of the day off. Bye, fellas. God bless you all.